Alright, welcome guys to a session of X-Plane 12. We are in the JFK airport. I'm not sure what runway we'll check out right now. Let's just check right here. 31 left. No. Let's do 22 left. Alright, yeah. Let's go buy the book on this one. I got my flight manual, or learning it in Spanish, Manual de Vuelo. Luckily it's in English. I'm sure anywhere in the world you gotta learn that in English. Manuals are gonna be in English, and Origins of Aviation, I'm pretty sure are from the Wright brothers, so American. Let's start. Turn off the yoke. We got the pre-flight inspection, the walk around complete. Seatbelt adjusted, fuel selector mode is on both. Check. Circuit breakers are all in. Oh shit. Right there, all in. Check. Avionics and radars are off. Brakes. Let's see. We're just using an Xbox remote for this one. Brakes are set. Tested and set. So now we go mixture rich. Carburetor heat is on cold. I don't know where that is here. It's usually like a lever you push in somewhere next to the throttle around here. Carburetor heat. Unknown here. An actual Cessna is somewhere around here. Well, carburetor heat. Check. It's cold. Primer. 3 1/4 for a Cessna 172. There's 3. And somewhere around there is the 4th. That might be a little too much, but let's see if we got it. Throttle's open at 1/4. Check. Master on. Beacon on. And clear. Let's see. Almost. We're keeping that 900. Alright. Starter is engaged. Power at 1000 RPM. Oil pressure. Oil pressure. Green. Avionics and radios on, and they automatically set to their frequencies. So, on frequencies, check. Lights as required. We need landing, taxi, navigation. Let's see, doors and windows are closed. Brakes are set. Mixture is rich. Revolutions at 1,700. Right around now. A little more. A little more. Right now. Alright, mixture 1,700. Check. Let's adjust the mixture until it no longer rises. Right around now. It's starting to decline, so mixture is around there. Mixture is check. I mean, a go, it's green. Magneto check. Left, we got a deviation. No more than around 100, returning to both. And right magneto, deviation, no more than 100-ish. Returning to both. Magnetos are a go. Check. Carburetor heat. This is where we would pull that lever. I can't find it here. Well, carburetor heat. It's a go. It's green. Instruments are green, so we check oil pressure, oil temp. I'll go. Vacuum or pressure between 4 and 6. Temperature charging. Instruments are green. Power, we reduce it to 1000 RPM, and we ask for clearance from here. Usually we would be in hangars and it would sound something like JFK International. This is X-Ray Bravo November 172 Sierra Papa. We wait for a reply, and since we would be in hangars, we would say something like 2 Sierra Papa Cessna 172 in hangars for local flight returning today. Request BFR taxi departing 2 to left, XYZ. But we're just gonna go for a joyride here. We're not gonna go for a flight following. We just wanted a professional startup, and we have that professional startup by the book. So let's start adjusting some instruments here. Let's go 2, 3-ish around now. Everything is so deviated from each other. It's the magnetic variation, man. Okay, so here we want 1 point of flaps. What just happened here? It went all blurry. Huh. Alright. 1 point to flaps, everything is a go. Instruments are green. Whoa. Okay. Let's go full throttle. A little bit of right rudder beforehand, and releasing brakes. Let's go. Instruments still green, pressure within 4 and 6. Airspeed is live. Waiting for that 65 knots for this thing to just take off on its own, and checking your instruments is something you would be communicating to a pilot or a co-pilot. You want 500 feet of ascension. Let's get the trim up a little bit. Let's not worry too much about the trim since we're going to turn the flaps off and we're going to get a little bit more of a nose neutral. Release some right rudder to stick to the middle of the runway. Sending slightly too much. We want 500. Right around now. Alright, 300 up. Flaps up. Keep that nose leveled. And slightly tilted up. We totally missed center of runway right there. Leaning too much to the right. I like this airport, it has so many runways, good for emergency landings. We should try some desert ones next. Emergency landings are even easier there. Let's go for a cruise, a joyride. Let's check out what these things are over here. Maybe boats? What is that? Let's go check it out, descend a little bit. Oh, they are boats. How detailed. Doubt there's collisions, otherwise it'd be fun to try to land on them. Do some Navy-style landings. Love how the sun hits the instruments. That's how it would happen. I doubt there's collisions, but let's check. Oh man. Yeah, let's get full speed. We're gonna need it. We're fighting the plane a little too much, so let's trim up. Let's try to crash. This way we can confirm we have a collision. Oh shit! We do have collisions, okay. Landing on them? Let's try for one. We got a full Navy pilot here. Right, quick start. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Usually you don't want to do it that fast. You get a CFI, they're gonna yell at you. Okay, somewhere around there. Just smack that a little bit more in. There we are. You know what we forgot? We forgot to turn these off upon takeoff. On 300 feet in the air. You want to take off landing and taxi when you're in the air, along with those flaps. Okay, let's adjust this real quick. Around 223-ish. How far away? 1 mile, so this is 22 left. Let's go, smack that right rudder. Trim is neutral. Center of runway, we got that airspeed live, instruments are green, and perimeter charging, oil crush, oil temp is go. And 65 for a positive ascension at 500. Being told I'm speaking too fast, I might be a little caffeinated right now. Alright, center of runway. We don't want to see the runway. We know it's below us. Alright. We might not want to send too much if we're going for one of those landings. I had no idea you had collisions. You can collide with buildings, at least in New York. Oh, flaps up. Let's go neutral from here, 500 feet. If someone can tell me what that sound is. What is this right here? O-M-I. What is I? That's like way bigger. Let's go over there. Emergency landing in the middle of the ocean. Let's get some cruise speed. 2,300 for a Cessna 172. Trim up a little bit. Let's descend. Let's chase 500. So we want to do emergency landings, see if we can do full Navy pilot landing style. Should be easier, they don't go that fast. We're going to do carrier though, these aren't going to be carriers. We're going to land on cargo. Nose pitch is for speed, and throttle is for the height, or altitude. We don't want to go that fast. We're well over 90 knots, which is the cruise speed. Alright, there's our cargo. Cargo ship. We have collisions for these. Let's get that nose up. Oh, that's gonna be impossible. We're gonna crash. We need a sporty plane. This one's not gonna be enough. It needs a lot more room. And we would crash into those blue things. Alright. Going around. That one might work. See it, then go around. Keep that plane leveled. That might work. I like it. Let's emergency land one of these. The teardrop ship up here. Get him in flight. Let's descend a little. We almost surpassed 500 feet. Usually you can time 1 minute around here. but we'll just chance it. We're sticking to 500 feet of altitude. And let's bank. Horizon in sight. Gives us a visual reference. We can do 30 degrees. Let's smack right, left, rudder a little. Oh, I can barely see this one. There we go. Centered. Descending a little too much. That ship. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. What is not as uniform as I thought it would be. Okay, let's start to slow down. Slow down. Let's go 1 point of flaps in that wide arc. Oh man, this is tough. This is the most challenging landing yet. It would have been easier to go the other way since we have to avoid this thing right here. Okay, kill the power. Ooh, we gotta avoid that. That's so tough. Let's do it. Right here. Oh yeah! Crash landed. We're probably on fire. Or not. We may have survived that. Interesting. Looks like it's possible. Maybe a hell of a lot slower. Let's check for collisions on buildings. Let's see if we can land in a building. Alright. Make sure rich. Pump the gas. It's 3 1/4. No. Master on. Beacon on. And clear. We should wait for this to rise up. A little too much. Avionics, then lights as required. And again, we forgot to turn off landing and taxi. Hang on. 1,700 RPM. And pull until it doesn't rise anymore. So it's on there. Avionics are on. Let's line this up a little bit. 2 to 3-ish. Full throttle. And let's go. Smack that right rudder. Oh shit, not that much. We got 1 point of flaps. Instruments are go. Pressure 4 and 6. And 65. Let's take off to the right immediately. You usually don't want to do this. Not such a dramatic banking angle on takeoff. I think most accidents are caused that way. And they're lethal. Those are the most lethal ones. You need a hell of a lot more speed before banking. But we are professionals. Okay. Flaps up. Let's not forget landing and taxi this time. Eventually we're gonna land on a target like that, the tower. Tiny ass things. Landing and taxi off. And let's search for some buildings. I wonder how accurate this airport is. Never been there. Is that where the city is? It's around cool in the sunset. Let's try the right. Release the right rudder to get the ball in the middle. Tilt no more than 30 degrees. Little right rudder for that ball to center. Huh, I don't see anything. Trim up a little. I see some buildings. The ones that were off in the distance in the sunset. Very scenic view. We are 1200 up, that's usually where we're going to be, 1000 above ground. And there is no conflict with the airliners. Those things are about 2,000 feet in the air, I'm betting. Oh, we got some right here. Alright, initiating the slow speed, which is 2,000 RPM. Got some buildings right there, actually. Let's chase this one. That one looks better to land on. I'm thinking these might be the best options if you have to land. If you don't want to land from a road, there's too many lights, street lights. Those posts will screw you. All the cars you're going to have to avoid. It'll be a bitch to get that plane out of the building, though. Might have to disassemble, call in some choppers. Okay, let's get to that white arc. Neutral nose. Don't assume you want neutral right now. Alright, get those knots down. Take the power out. Almost in the white arc. There we go. Angle of approach should be decent. Let's get 2 flaps. 20 degrees. We're losing too much speed. Let's get some nose down and throttle. Not descend too much right away. Okay, we're close. Removing the throttle. Start to descend. Let's get some flaps, full flaps. Oh, that's gonna be too fast. Let's see if we can jump onto the highway here. Let's touch and go. Oh, we didn't even touch. Alright, let's go around. Wow, that's close. Too close for comfort. Smack a little right rudder to get that ball centered. We're gonna get that building landing. Even if we crash somehow. It seems to be a flat surface though. It won't be like a ship. touch it, touch it, touch it. Yeah! Oh, no collisions! In order to get touch and go. Bounce right through. I thought we were going to touch the corner and go for a go-around before landing up long ways. Okay, buildings are no collision, so in theory we can fly right through this. Let's go full throttle, flaps up, and in theory this works. We go right through. Yep. What the hell is that? Seems to glitch down a little bit. I wouldn't expect so many parks and such large parks in the middle of the city. Definitely don't want to land there. Trees will kill you. Fighting the plane a little bit, so flaps up. I mean, trim up. It's a lot of trim, and still, it's rising well over 500. Okay, so we can't put the landing on rooftops to the test. Let's say engine failure right here. Let's emergency land on a road. Oh, I've never done these. So much traffic. They're not going to know to avoid me. I'm going to crash into a car. Flaps pulled too early. We weren't in that wide arc. If it is an emergency, we might need it to be so. No collision with cars either. Okay, full throttle. Let's get mixture rich. Let's go for it. Let's fit in here. Can we fit in here? No, we can't. Now let's do a serious one. No more fun. Alright, full throttle. Let's actually adjust. We're at 223. Right now. Release some brakes, make the right rudder, and let's go. Standard takeoff, standard landing. A killjoy flight. Buzz Killington himself. Center of that runway. In this case, you can just release right rudder to lead left. Keep that runway out of sight, that way we know it's in the middle. That's 500 feet of ascension. Instrument screen, pressure between 4 and 6. We didn't have full throttle right there. That's why the landing or the takedown was a little forced. 300 feet in the air. Let's release that right rudder. And flaps up. I need to release the right rudder since I need to use the mouse to select the switches for landing and taxi. Since I'm just using an Xbox remote with both hands. Quite useful since the triggers are pressure sensitive. You want to map them to your rudders. You know what? Let's do a little bit of fun. Let's fly just over the water. Definitely don't want more than 1,000 feet of this section. Let's do it on the ocean. We have no landmass in front of us eventually. Let's descend. We're ascending. So let's kill some power, not all of it. Let's go to 2,000 for a slow flight. Those things have to be at risk if there's ever a hurricane. Dangerous real estate. But I bet it's expensive too. Is that a train? Can we fly into this? I know you said we were going to take this seriously, but let's see if there's enough room to fly underneath that thing. Getting a little glitchy. You know, there might be enough room. It's more for a sporty plane. You can't really do that with Cessna 172. These might be the V4s, and you want like a V12 for those stunt moves. We should check our Q&H. Because this thing says 100 feet in the air, it's slightly lower. This is a good screenshot right here. Let's just stick to 100 feet. We can do 50, let's do 50. Trim. Let's actually stick to 100. Avoid this right now. Trim up, release the rudder to lean left a little bit. See how close we can get to that boat. That'd be scary as hell if you're on that boat. Oh shit, what's that plane doing? The bridge. looks close, but our tires are not even close to touching the ground. We're like 50 feet in the air. And we got to about 30 feet, 20, 30 feet. Do not want to get any closer than that, because there's a little gust of wind that can screw us over. And this thing simulates gusts of wind in all directions. There's even downdraft, I think. It's more like this one a little more. And the obvious choice, or the popular choice. Which I also use, but this one seems to have more detailed airports, which is what you want if you're going to take aviation seriously. Ideally you want both, and if you're a pilot you can probably just afford both. X-plane being one of the options. Let's get to those 100 feet. Ascend. Get that trim down. How scenic. You'll definitely find her this one. Let's get to that 100 feet. The video captures an automatic screenshot of this from just over the water with a sunset glare. I think this still counts as taking it somewhat seriously, since we're going to do a landing back at the airport. Back to 22 left. Let's get to 1,000 feet in the air. Get that trim down so that we go up. That's perfect. 500 and then just a little bit right rudder. That Balta hit in the middle. Ball on the turning bank. This is where the buildings were. If we get 22 left, we need to do a go around on this way. A circuit. So this is JFK. We want to do this motion right here. That way it's a left approach. But you know what? It's going to take forever. Let's just go straight to it. up, get this thing flying on its own. We don't want to send anymore, actually. Trim down, and 2300. Close to that 1000 altitude. That's where we're going to keep 1000. Where's that airport? Straight ahead. This? Okay, now we're taking it seriously. Which is what you want in simulations. You want to be so used to it that it's boring and you want to try new stuff. Because it's so routine, you're so used to it, you're so over-rehearsed. That standard flying isn't enough entertainment. It keeps you immortal in the air. Level-headed every time. If you're going to practice on your own, some methods might be giving yourself a 500 feet margin of error. So practice stabilizing, maintaining 1,000 feet in this case, and no more than 500 or 100 of margin for error. What I'm doing to compensate here is messing with throttle, decreasing or increasing. Adjusting the trim a little bit, trimming up a little. We want to stick to that 0, exactly at 1,000 right here. That's our altitude. Should be crossing the JFK soon. Looks like it's going to be this area right here. We're decreasing a little bit. Let's pull some throttle in. Get that nose slightly up, trim down. We are 1,000 again. Settling on neutral. We should have a CDI live soon. This thing right here. When it lines up or starts to line up, we want to bank to the right. It'll take us to 22 left, the runway where we took off. Ascending too much. Almost past that 100 feet of margin for error. Some decreased throttle. Trim up a little bit. We are descending real slow. There's that JFK. Much further away is it? I was thinking that was going to be it. But our CDI says otherwise. We gotta intercept that radial. Why is CDI not live? What the hell are we on? Close. Established on radial 108. This is what it would look like, just boring flight. First few flights might be interesting or exciting. But so the passengers don't get dizzy, this is how you would fly. Well, there's no puking. Just compensating for any turbulence. Let's see, I should be live soon. Banking real slow. Let's do the slow down approach, slow procedure. We got a CDI live. It's turning quick. Let's get that heading to 2-2. Let's go to reverse speed. Descent as we go. Keep 1000. Alright. Miss our radial. There it is. Perfect. Okay, 2000 RPM. Slow procedure. We're going BFR from here. There is where we took off from. Just following the instruments. Technically, going RFR a little bit. Started a jazz band on board. We got 1 3 Pappy. 3 white, 1 red. Let's go full 2000 and let's get that nose up a little bit to get to that wide arc. I was gonna say too high for now, but we do want to descend with a certain angle. And the flaps are going to help us do that. 10 point of flaps, 10 degrees of flaps. Okay, almost on that wide arc. And here we go. Let's descend here. Let's kill the power. Let's actually leave it just a little bit in. Let's not descend more than 1000. In perfectly. I just need the 2 and 2 for the Pappies. Looks like we stayed too high. That's what 4 whites means. Flared slightly too soon. There we are. Center of the runway. and slowly introduce brakes. That would have been a standardized landing. Just needed slightly better angle of approach. For 2 and 2 patterns. Well, here we go. Guys, that was a joyride, some experimental stuff, and a serious flight at the end. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope to see you in the next one. Take care.